Thank you so much, Kate. It's a delight to introduce Danielea Castell, a nature relations artist, consultant, singer, and educator who believes that all humans can communicate with nature. For the past 5 years, she's hosted Listening Fields, bringing together diverse groups of humans and nature elders to innovate for a thriving planet. Through memes, videos, and social research, she shares insights to inspire action. Recent innovations include consulting with endangered aquatic species on government education materials, dialoguing with trees about wildfires, and partnering with olive tree elders to learn peace. Trained through an apprenticeship between 2008 and 2020 with 36 water, rock, and tree elders, her studies focused on interbeing ethics and communication. Now based in Snuneymuxw territory on Vancouver Island, she works with individuals and organizations to create relational approaches with nature for the benefit of people, the planet, and future generations. And with that, I would like to welcome Danielea.
Blessings and greetings, everyone. I'd like to begin with an acknowledgement that I'm just going to share screen as well. There we go. So first of all, I'd just like to acknowledge you, Paul, and the team for bringing this opportunity for all of us to share the important wisdom and messages from our plant and tree relatives at this time. I'd also like to acknowledge all of the nature elders and Mother Earth, Mother Ocean, the elemental world builders, all who have participated in the listening field in the past 5 years. They have shared so generously and lovingly with us, and I'm super grateful for this evolving partnership that is continuing. I'd like to introduce myself and just say that, as you've probably surmised, nature elders, nature communicators have all different foci, which is just such a beautiful reflection of our nature relatives as well. And my orientation is very much eco-spiritual, social artist. And my primary relationship, as you heard, is with water, rock, and tree. However, in the listening field, all are welcome. And the ways that we, because we communicate as groups, sometimes the messages are very spiritual oriented and very focused on our improving our relations with each other, and other times through other listeners, the wisdom shared on particular topics is extremely practical and focused. So there is a huge variety in this kind of a situation. So just a little bit about the listening field. It did emerge during lockdown in June of 2020. I'd been meeting in person with all these nature relatives around the world. I hear a call, I respond, but then of course I couldn't travel. But soon discovered that we could open this ceremonial field together and communicate directly heart to heart without getting in a car or on a plane. The field itself has been co-developed with humans and nature elders and has these 5 ways of being or frequencies: open, emergent, responsive, evolving, and generative. And essentially what we are shown about participating in the listening field together is that it's an opportunity for us to access the unknown, an opportunity to connect, receive, co-imagine, and co-create with our nature elders and their consciousness, what we haven't yet felt, imagined, understood, encountered, or seen before. So that's what we're after here, is just really arriving new each time, and we never really know what's going to happen. The other thing I'll just mention before we continue is this term nature elders. I coined it in 2020 when I began to share with other humans about my experience with these relatives who I considered wiser and more connected with me than me. So that's it's a very subjective definition. It's also one of respect respect. And also you might see in some of my written communications that I always capitalize the name of our nature relatives as also as a way of respect, and also to visually remind us that these, of course, are sentient, autonomous, sovereign relatives who are here on Earth with us at this time. And that visual reminder through the capitalization is a way that I demonstrate that. I want to say that in reflecting on what I was going to share today, I've hundreds and hundreds of these memes that have been created from the wisdom messages received by myself and others in the listening field. But given what is happening currently in the Middle East today, right now, I was very called to share a little bit about our journey with the olive tree elders primarily. Eventually it was the kukui and the ginkgo trees joined us as well, in learning about the frequency of peace. And so this became how I wish to orient our work today. So I want to take a moment just before we switch from this informational realm to the transmission realm of both story and messages and songs, by taking a moment now to just sound and allow the vibration to prepare us to open and receive whatever it is for us to receive. So it all began on October 7th, 2023, when war erupted in Israel, Palestine again, and genocide in Gaza soon followed. And so there was a wave of heartbreak, really, that rippled across the earth. And a spiritual call came from the nature elders living in the Middle East for a listening field consultation to be assembled. May peace prevail on earth. 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 The first listening field with the nature elders of the Middle East happened on October 28th. 17 humans and 32 nature elders from the water, rock, tree nations and the Davic realms showed up and assembled together. But one group stood out, and it was the olive tree people, especially a 4,000-year-old elder named Al-Badawi from southern Bethlehem. Over the months, repeated listening fields with Al-Badawi and other olive tree elders helped us to learn that these ancient beings don't just speak of peace, they embody peace. Physically, energetically, in their oil, in their olives, in just thinking about them, they transmit, literally, the frequency of peace. The other thing that we came soon to learn was that was reminded to us by a fairy sage, that in order for us to have peace on earth, we must first be able to imagine it. And that the olive trees, when we partner with them heart to heart, they help to wake up our enhanced imagination. And so this gave another more profound reason for us to continue to develop this partnership and this peace alliance with them. So during 2024, the olive trees remained our steady mentors. We partnered and spoke with them every single month. As the year unfolded, as I mentioned, the kukui nut and the ginkgo trees joined this expanding peace alliance, each one bringing their own medicine, helping us to deepen our shared journey and to truly embody peace, even in the face of mounting challenges. So now for the wisdom messages and the medicine melodies that were received. What I'm about to share with you is a very, very small sample of the tremendous wisdom that we received from them. And I'm very grateful. This is how we met Paul for the first time, was through your joining us on some of these consultations. I'm going to speak the messages. You will see them in meme form, but I'm going to speak them twice. And if you feel called after you've seen the meme to close your eyes and receive it a second time, just without the visual brain being dominant, I invite you to do so. I will also say that the first two that I'm going to share with you were received in the months leading up to October 7th. And as I looked back, they felt very prophetic, a warning from the tree people of what was to come. This message was received from an Egyptian youth from a tree elder on the Nile River on July 16, 2023. I was hosting a Nature and Me program for youth. She consulted with this tree elder as part of a workshop assignment about a problem she was having with a friend. His reply was, "It's the moments when you can get away with being cruel that it matters most that you be kind, because it changes everything. It's the moments when you can get away with being cruel that it matters most that you be kind, because it changes everything." And I'm sure you can apply this message to certain events that happened and see, wow, what trajectory might be different on our earth had that choice been made post-October 7th. This message was received a month later from a tree elder, they affectionately named Root Woman. She lives in Sir Fleming Park in Halifax. The healing of the father line is paramount right now. Remember where you come from. The healing of the father line is paramount right now. Remember where you come from. This beautiful, sacred, fun, wonderful message was received by Bev Templeton, co-founder of Global Tree Lovers with Mary Getton. Switch the position of the O and the I in our name, and olive becomes I love. Switch the position of the O and the I in our name, and olive becomes I love. This beautiful code, really helps us, reminds us to let love be our compass. Let love, I love, be the center of our identity. Invites us to act from love, speak from love, root in love. That this is the seed of the new earth. This next message was received by Steve Kramer from the Olive Tree Elders of Ehina. And as some of you know, I was invited there to be part of Uniting in Our Humanity. It was a gathering during wartime of Palestinians and Israelis in Greece. And there was a nearby grove of olive tree elders there, and I came to help facilitate their inclusion as facilitators in the event itself. So in the listening field that I hosted there, they were brought in, of course, and were present. And Steve received this beautiful question. Love is a verb. Why don't you make compassion and peace verbs to help them flourish? And then they said to him, we peace you. We compassion you. So love is a verb. Why don't you make peace and compassion verbs to help them flourish? We peace you. We compassion you. I want to share with you now, a melody from that was given to me by a grandmother olive tree elder. She was one of the 4 who I call the fabulous 4 who live here in this grove in Ehina. And she gave me this melody when I went to invite her to be a facilitator in our event. And we were, of course, going to be bringing the group there. And she offered this as an invocation and an opportunity for us to sing and dance around the tree. And if you sing this melody, you bring Grandmother Olive Elder into your own field, and you're welcome to join us at any time. It goes like this. Grandmother olive tree, being peace, partner with us. Grandmother olive tree, being peace, partner with us. Grandmother olive tree, being peace, partner with us. Grandmother olive tree, being peace, fill our hearts, guide our way, bring us home, home in love. Grandmother olive tree, being peace, partner with us. Grandmother being peace, partner with us. Grandmother, grandmother. For me personally, I was consulting with Alba Dewey in the 4 listening fields that followed from October the 28th, and then in the very next one, the Deva of the olive trees, and then shortly after, the Deva of peace became my trainers, my mentors. And they allowed me and facilitated me to merge fully with their fields. And the only way I can describe, because we didn't exchange much language, the only way I can describe it is it's a field of unconditional care. And as you already heard Mary Getton speak, the Devic realm is an overarching realm. So when I was with them in that field, we were in connection with every single olive tree on earth, and we were also connecting with all other living beings as well. So it was a macro field of unconditional care that I had not experienced before. But at the end of our second exchange, she challenged me, and she said, speak from my energetic reality into your world and watch what happens. Speak from my energetic reality. So embody that reality. And I brought her and the Deva of Peace in. And I applied this during a conflict situation that happened in the grocery store right after. And it made a radical difference. I literally was not, even though somebody was assaulting me, I was able to hold space and to be in a place of care and curiosity about what was going on for them, that they felt this need to attack me. Speak from the energetic reality of a tree or unconditional care and see what happens. One of my favorites, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words that just really shifted my consciousness almost immediately. Received from Pamela Schreiner in a listening field with olive trees in Martina, Greece. Let go and stay connected. Let go and stay connected. I'm sure we can all imagine all these things we need to let go of But at the same time, we can stay connected with each other, with nature, with ourselves. I was interested to note that we heard a bit of the same message from that young willow tree from Basha. So this was received by Stephanie Bobinski, also with the olive trees. We have no opportunity to run and hide, so we accept. And it is our power. We can often think of these relatives as victims of climate change or things that happen, etc. But they don't see it that way. One tree elder told me, we stand, we fall. It's part of our life cycle. But I really appreciated this because this power to accept, I think, is something that as a species, we're still learning how to embody and to discern, to accept what. My recent work has taken me back in person and working locally. After 10 years of working globally and 5 years online. There was a conflict in our community around a small green space. A plan was approved by City Council that was causing just tremendous problems, tension, conflict, and bad feelings. So I immediately, of course, went to the tree elders in the park whose lives would be completely lost had this plan moved through. And they didn't make any plea for their lives whatsoever. But they kept me in silence for a really, really long time and then directed me to a middle-aged tree, not an elder, who I almost always speak to are the elders, to a middle-aged tree. And he zoomed me, like Jim talked about, he zoomed me to the top of his branches, and I could see far in the distance. And then I heard him say, a new way of being is on the horizon. Rise above the clouds of confusion and see a new way of working together. Now, I second-guessed myself a number of times with this rise above the clouds, because I was like, there's separation, there's conflict, there's ignorance, there's all these other things. Is it clouds? Did I really hear that correctly? And then as I began to join the movement to bring what was best for all to this park, I started to understand that they were completely accurate when he talked about the clouds of confusion. Because there were so many different stories and have been going on for 15 or 20 years. So this has guided me so truly till now. I am part of co-creating an intergenerational community support team, friends of Loudon Park, that are here to make sure that everybody's needs are looked after. And in 2 instances, we have preserved the lives of these original 29 mature Douglas fir trees. And now another 15 were under the potential cut block, and they are also still alive and their lives are valued. So I want to close with a couple of remarks. Let me just find what they are. Here we are. The olive trees on Earth have been here for 20 to 40 million years. Humans have been on Earth for 200,000. So I think they know a little bit about peace. And from my understanding, they're not waiting for us to change the world. They're holding space for us to remember who we truly are. We are frequencies of light and love and peace, and we're here to co-create with life. So in closing, I want to share this message, what you see on the screen, from the grandmother ginkgo who I met in September 2024 in Hiroshima. She is a Hibakujumoku, which is a Japanese term for the trees who survived the atomic blast. And believe me, these tree elders who live there know with absolute crystal clarity how important it is for us to embody and to be peace. So this message that you see here came the day after the most recent US election. We held our monthly listening field on the 6th day. It happened to be the day after, and I invited grandmother ginkgo in. And I said to her, all right, everybody knows what's happened yesterday. What do you suggest we do? And the first thing she did was blaze her great golden light in all directions. And because I was heart connected with her, I became this great golden light. And then I heard her say, shine your light bright. And so what I've learned from her since then is that in these times of great polarity and fear, our inner radiance is really needed, along with our clarity and compassion and our creative courage. Let all of these be visible, and let's refuse to dim our light for the comfort of others or the convenience of systems. We shine for truth. We shine for unity. And this is the melody for that mantra. Shine your light bright, shine your light. 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 Shine bright, shine, shine bright. Shine your light bright, relatives. Join with our tree people, whether it's the olive, the ginkgo, the plants, and bring your love, your wisdom, your creativity to partner together for this new reality that we're creating on Earth at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Danielea. That was very interesting, and your work is beautiful and important. And with that, I would like to pass it on to Sue Fagger to introduce the next speaker.